Houston Sports Talk back in another video today, and today the Houston Astros beat the New York Mets 8-5 in spring training and get revenge for the butt beating that the Astros received a couple days ago on Saturday, losing 6-2. But this is a really good win for the Astros today, 8-5. Some very meaningful players made their Astros debut today. And when I say that, I'm talking about Isaac Paredes and also talking about Christian Walker. Those guys looked great today. So let's get into this game. 8-5 is the final score. 11 hits for the Mets, 8 for the Astros, 2 errors for the Astros, 1 for the Mets. Win goes. It's good to see this, especially with him not being healthy within the season. Taylor Scott gets the win, 1-0. He pitched 1 inning, gave it 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 0 strikeouts, 0 walks. How about this? Loss goes to former Astro Chris Davinsky. He's 0-1 in the year now, which is early in spring training. Pitched 1 inning, giving up 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts, 0 walks. Save goes to Fleury. His first save, pitching 2 innings, giving up 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 strikeout, 0 walks. Scoring summary. It was a very active first inning when, in the first inning, Jesse Winker hits an RBI single. Ronald Acuña's brother, Luis Angel Acuna scores 1-0. And then, so in the first inning, Isaac Paredes scores on error, and Walker scored on error. Caratini safe at first on fielding error by first baseman Jacob Young. So this was, at first I thought this was a single, but they did call this an error. And so 2 runs score, no RBIs for Caratini, but wait till later in the game, he does get an RBI. But that scored the Astros the first 2 runs in that first inning. So then in the second inning, the Astros were able to get to a former Astro today with a loss, with getting Chris Davinsky on the loss. But former Astro Jose Siri comes up big in the second inning. It's tied to the game, 2-2 when he hits a home run. And then Acuna grounds out the shortstop, but Jacob Young scores, and it's 3-2. Then Brett Beatty hits a home run to right center, and it's 4-2. Things are starting to fall apart. When the third inning, the Astros really start to get a good inning, get the bases loaded when Walker, Gamble, and Caratini all reach base, and Chas McCormick gets hit by pitch, and that scores a run to make it 4-3. Then Luis Guillorme hits an RBI single to the center. Caratini scores, and it's tied. McCormick goes to second, Gamble goes to third, and it's 4-4. Then, so that ties the game. Then later on in the 5th inning, Victor Caratini wasn't able to get 2 RBIs off of the 2 runs that scored in the first inning, but hits a home run in the 5th inning, home run to right, 5-4. And then this was the biggest part of the day, 6th and 8th inning, Cam Smith, home run to right center. Matthews scored 7-4. Then in the 8th inning, home run to right center, 8-4. I'm going to steal something from Jeff Blum, Astros color announcer. He said that Dana Brown said that they thought it would be about 18 months until he's in the majors, but he said off the way he's playing today, if he continues it, it'll be 18 days. I loved when I heard Jeff Blum say that. You know what? He might be right. If Cam Smith continues to play like he did today, he will be in the majors sooner than later. Just want to remind everybody that this guy so far in his time, playing in spring training, does not have an at-bat so far where he doesn't reach base. The other day, he played his first game on Saturday when they played the Nationals, and he had 2 at-bats, 2 plate appearances, and had 2 walks. So didn't actually have an at-bat that counted because there were walks, but reached base. He's reached base in every plate appearance he has. He has 4 plate appearances so far, and has reached base every single time. 2 home runs, 2 walks. So, it's been great so far in spring training for Cam Smith. And if he keeps this up, I don't think he has a shot of making the opening day roster. Because if the Astros have a plan for him to make the majors in 18 months, I don't think there's a way for him to get onto the Astros major league roster this year. But if he plays like this in spring training and does things like this, it's not going to be 18 months. It's going to be at some point this season he makes his debut. I don't think there's a shot of him making the opening day roster this year. But I think if he can continue to play like this, we'll see him on the roster this year and not have to wait till next season. But I think there's a lot more time in spring training left, and we'll have to see what he can do. All right. But a great start for him so far. And then they scored 1 run in the ninth, and he got a little bit of a scare. The Mets had a chance to tie this thing up in the ninth, but weren't able to do it. They had an RBI single to bring it to a 3-run game, 8-5, and then it was a 3-run. It was a 3-run game, and they had 2 runners on. But the Astros got through it. Let's go over hitters today. Like I said, there was a lot of guys that played today that will be meaningful for this team this year. Mauricio Dubon was at leadoff today and made some good contact. His first 2 at bats, I thought, was very aggressive. First inning and second inning flyouts is both center. Third inning wasn't as good of an at bat, popped out to second. But early on in spring training, you want to get comfortable, and that's what I think he's doing. He's swinging the bat, very aggressive with that, and so it's good to see. Bryce Matthews, prospect, would replace him. He had 2 at bats, looked very good in his first game against the Mets. So 2 games against the Mets for Bryce Matthews in his 2 only games in spring training so far. He had a RBI double against the Mets last game on Saturday. And he had a 6th inning walk today, and in the 8th inning he struck out swinging, but scored a run in the 6th inning when Cam Smith hit a home run. Isaac Paredes looked pretty good today. He had a 1st inning walk and then scored a run in that inning. I like how one of the things I like that I think he's going to do this year, as he's done in his career, is being very aggressive with going into full counts. And that's something he did with his walk, of course, and he did that a couple other times today, and so he had a very interesting day. And I think it was his second at bat. And in his second at bat, when he grounded out to third, he had this foul ball that he absolutely crushed. Yeah, he crushed in. It was foul ball territory, but I mean he's gonna have some nice bombs this year for the Astros, especially playing at Daikin Park. Where if he would have played at Minute Maid last year for the Astros, he would have had 30 home runs if he would have been on the Astros last year. So it's gonna be fun to watch him when the Astros play at home this year. Then Cam Smith came in for him and he played great. We know how he did. Christian Walker made his debut today. He looked great. First inning double to center, Isak to third. He crushed this ball. This would have been a home run in a lot of MLB ballparks. Absolute crush ball by Christian Walker. And then the third inning, he had a walk, and he scored 2 runs today. Unbelievable debut for Christian Walker in the Astros. John Singleton then would replace him, and he had 3 at-bats today, struck out swinging his first 2 at-bats, then fouled out the second. Yanner Diaz was at DH, and he had a really good day the other day when he played on Sunday, and he had he was 2 for 3 the other day, and today he was 0 for 3. Flied out to center, fouled out to flied out to right, and lined out to center. But it's nice he's making contact. Robleski was 0 for 1 today, replacing Diaz, and he grounded out to shortstop. Victor Caratini was at catcher day with Yanner Diaz being DH, and he had a great day, 2 for 3, scored an error, and Paredes scored an error, and Walker scored an error. Caratini saved first and fielding error by first baseman Jacob Young, and that was in the first inning. And then third inning, single to center, Walker to third. 5th inning, home run to right. And then Quincy Hamilton would replace him, flied out to center. Ben Gamel was a starter today, was 0 for 1 because in his first at-bat, he was hit by pitch. Caratini got to second. And in the third inning, Gamel walked, and Caratini to second. 5th inning, he popped out to second. Then Kennedy Corona replaced him, and his only at-bat, he had a single to right. Chas McCormick was 0 for 2 today, was hit by pitch in the third inning, which got him his first RBI of spring. So struck out swinging in the 5th, and in his first inning, he fouled out to first. Then we saw Joseph Sullivan replace Chas, and he struck out swinging, and his only at-bat, he hit the first home run for the Astros this spring the other day on Sunday. Jake Myers was 0 for 3, and he flied out to left in the second. Third inning, struck out swinging, and 5th inning, struck out swinging as well, so 0 for 3 for Jake. Cesar Salazar replaced Jake and became the catcher. Salazar grounded out to third. And then how about Luis Guillerme? Looked really good today. 2 for 2. Second inning single to left. Third inning single to center. Caratini scored. McCormick to second. Gamble to third. And Dana Brown was on the broadcast today, and he said that if Luis Guillermo continues to hit the baseball like this, that they think he has a shot to be a part of the roster. And I honestly, at this point, with how bad John Singleton's been, I maybe would rather have Luis Garame than John Singleton. But hopefully John Singleton can get his bat alive. Zach Short would replace him, would replace Luis, and he had two at-bats flying out to right and center. Let's get to pitching. Ronel Blanco really struggled today. 1 1/3, 5 hits, giving up 3 earned runs, only 1 strikeout, 0 walks. Nick Hernandez would replace him in the second inning, get the last 2 outs, clean inning for him. Hayden Wazinski made his Astros debut and looked really good for 2 innings with his new team. 2 innings, he had 2 hits and 1 earned run. Gave up a home run to Jose Siri, which was not good. You know what? I don't think it was Jose Siri. I think it was Brett. He gave up a home run to Brett Brady, and he gave up a walk. So gave up a couple of hits and a walk and a run, but had 3 strikeouts and a solid debut. Taylor Scott looked really good and was the winning pitcher for the Astros today, giving up 1 hit. And Bennett Suosa then pitched for the Astros in which was the 6th or 7th inning, I think. I think that was the 6th inning. He gave 1 hit, 1 walk, but no runs given up by Bennett Suosa. And then Forrest Whitley looked amazing in the 7th inning for the Stros. 2 strikeouts, no hits, no earned runs, no walks given up by Forrest Whitley. Great to see him look like that. And I talked about Fleury getting the last 2 innings in the 8th and 9th, giving up 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 strikeout, but getting the save. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros winning 8-5 in the comment section, and peace out, go Stros.